Okay, part two. As I was saying before I was interrupted and had to go do something for some damn body else, this thing with people like turning a blind eye to vets, this just got to stop, man. I could have successfully finished school by now. I'm 44 years old, and I got out of the military at 37, and so I had my hip replacement 3 years ago. So that's 43, 42, 41. Now, mind you, I got out at 37. I got into voc rehab. By the time I was 38, I had done all the stuff. So it's 38, 39, 40, 41. Had my hip replacement 3 years ago, which means 41. That's 4 years that every time I asked or came up with something for voc rehab, it was do research, do research, do research. And they just kept pushing me back and making me do all this damn research instead of just letting me go ahead and be a gym teacher because I knew I was going to have a hip replacement. And I knew that if I had a job as a gym teacher, I would have access to doing more training to get my hip straight. But no, that couldn't happen. The lady that was in charge of my case just decided that I wasn't going to be worthy of going to school to do what I really wanted. So why am I doing criminal justice and police science now? Because I'm 44 years old and I need a fucking job right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not 2 years from now, but right now. So if I can get this degree plus certificate, I'm halfway there. Voc rehab could have took care of this problem 42, 41, 43. Here you go. 44 right here. Well, 44. So here's 44. Here's 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37. Now this is how long I've been fighting for this shit. So what is the problem? Okay, so let's go further back. Obama got the guy that was in charge of looking into the military health thing out. Alright? Because apparently he wasn't ordering his subordinates to do their fucking job. But instead of his subordinates getting fired, he gets fired. And that's the same shit with a new jackass in council. And whoever you guys are putting in aren't traveling to these damn veterans hospitals, aren't checking in on all of these things for vets to make sure that we, the vets, are being taken care of. And that shit fucking sucks. And then, like I said, I didn't serve the way I wanted to serve. If I had it my way, I'd still be in the army right now. I have no wife, no children, so if I die, no one's gonna fucking miss me. Plus, I was infantry. I have all the infantry training, I just can't shoot worth a shit. But that was because I fell and got hurt, and they dropped the ball and didn't give me a full-on checkup. They checked where I said I was in pain at. Which is the one thing that, as a vet, I know now, that's not what you do. When someone is in pain, now you give them a full-body check. That way you know you won't miss anything. My hip needed to be replaced. And as my specialist took care of me, thank you very much, by the way, he told me, it was never your knee, it was your hip. It was your hip the entire time. And you were feeling it in your knee because of nerve damage. And they didn't give me any of those tests at Fort Benning. They gave me an x-ray and a bone scan, which they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They made me drink all this blue liquid. So I come home, and they like, oh, son, we got good news, and we got bad news, which is actually, we have worse news. I said, well, skip all that shit and just tell me how much time I have left to live. They said, oh, well, it's not that bad, but what's going to happen is if you don't have all these surgeries, you're not going to be able to have the hip surgery, and you're not going to walk right. Now that, on top of voc rehab, me getting the voc rehab, and then getting told you need to do research to make sure this is what you want to do. But what I really wanted to do was be a gym teacher. But the lady in charge of my case kept pushing it back, telling me I had to do research. How much research do you need to know to do a damn job that you're willing to get up in the morning and go do? Now I have to settle for whatever I can get right now because 2-year degree beats no degree. And that's why I've taken up criminal justice and police science. It's not something that I want to do, it's something I have to do because I need a job. It's just that simple. I need a job. My military pay is $269 a month. I'm grateful for that because it could be zero. But honestly, if I had the career of choice, if my acting career would have just taken off, I would say this. If I ever got famous enough to fight for military rights and become a military activist and a Native American activist and a black activist, I would do all that. But when it comes to the soldiers, we're not getting treated worth shit. And I don't give a damn what anybody else says about this, and you can disagree with me at all, or I'm pretty sure every vet will probably agree with me unless they're making more than what I'm about to suggest. There should be an $800 minimum. When you get out, you should automatically get $800, no matter how you served. Yeah, especially because you volunteering to basically die for this country. If you got a really good MOS, when you get out, I'm sure you're making thousands of dollars on just a recoil alone. But for infantry and other people who have a piss ant MOS like mine, I got infantry. I'm at 20% because the doctors dropped the ball. I could have got a full medical discharge had I known how hurt I was, and I should have had to come all the way to a military hospital to find out that I don't have a bleeding ulcer. I need a new hip, you know. And I mean, the pain has always been there, and I'm like, well, I can't understand why I'm in pain. I'm eating, I'm going to the bathroom properly, I'm doing everything. They told me it was my knee because I felt the pain in my knee. Then I get to McGuire, and they're like, dude, it's never been your knee. When you fell, you fucked up your hip. Which explains why I could not lay in the prone position to shoot. So maybe it wasn't just my fault that I couldn't shoot. It's because I was in pain the whole fucking time. Not just in my knee, but in my entire left fucking leg. But nobody told me any of that shit. Because they didn't find it at Fort Benning. Because I was complaining about my knee. But instead of giving me a full body checkup, oh no, we're just going to specialize look at that leg. And if there's nothing wrong with your leg, oh, we're going to give you a malingering charge. I wasn't malingering, I was in pain. This big metal sheet in my leg proves that I wasn't bullshitting, I was in pain. But I thought it was my knee. But it wasn't my knee. And then with rehab, dicking me over and over and over again. So I'm making this video because if I get dicked one more time, I have a lawyer that does military cases. And if I get dicked this time around, which that's what I'm going to tell them, when I come see them on Tuesday of next week, if they're not going to give it to me, so that's fine. Because I'm going to get my lawyer. This people who love fighting the military. And hopefully it'll be pro bono. And I'm going to get paid to go to school, or I'm going to get paid to shut the fuck up. I prefer to go to school because you can do a lot with an education. You can't do a lot with money because people get stupid when they get money. They get greedy, they get dumb, and they spend money on shit that they're never going to fucking need. But that's because they want things. But this is what I want. I'm going to tell you what I want. First, I want an $800 minimum for every vet. I don't care. I want an $800 minimum for every vet that has so much volunteered to serve. If you got on that line and you went through the training, you are a fucking vet. I did not want to come home. Bullets and beans cost money. I begged for a day one restart, but I had already been restarted 3 times. I wanted one more, but I also didn't know how severely fucked up I was. That this happening might have been a blessing in disguise, but it also has been my permanent curse because I haven't been able to train in anything in 3 years. I'm allowed to walk and fart. No climbing, no jumping, no skipping, no running. Just walk and fart. Oh yeah, I can do push-ups. We have to take care of our soldiers. Point blank period. When I got into the National Guard, I was never told that I could use my college credits to get rank. So that didn't help. I was never told that I could go active first until I actually got into boot camp. It's like, oh, you can go active first. You don't have to wait to be deployed. You can actually go active first and get the shit over with. I could serve my 3 years active first, and then my 5 inactive duty years, I could do whatever the hell I want. And that was my plan. But my real plan was to serve my 3 years and re-up. But yeah, I fell in a hole, and that kind of fucked up everything, because apparently you don't have to pave the streets at Fort Benning, Georgia. And I'm paying for that. Thank you very much. Now, I think that every soldier deserves an $800 minimum for the simple fact that what I get, this is my mom and sister's house. I can't find rent for what I get from the Army to get out. The half a job I have doesn't pay me enough money to make rent to get out. And all my money is recycled into my bills, car insurance, dental insurance, freaking gotta eat, and then cell phone, car repair, maintenance. You know, I barely am making it at all. If I did not have this roof over my head, I would not have a roof over my head because there's no veterans home in Charlottesville where I can live in my hometown and work and not have to drive 20 miles to a job. You know, we don't have that. We have a new McGuire clinic, but that's not a hotel for vets. That's in case we get fucked up. You know, I can't afford health insurance. So where am I? I'm not making enough money to get health insurance. The Army's not giving me free health insurance. They're not giving me free money. They give me treatment because as a vet, they kind of have to. I got an honorable discharge, you know, but it's not enough. There's no military discount stores around here except for stores that I can't afford to use. You know, I don't shop at Lowe's like talking about it, but they're the only ones who actually allow it. Racket Room is where I buy my shoes, but I can only buy them on Tuesday. And if I'm not paid by Tuesday, I can't buy shoes. You know, because I'm not allowed to wear tie-on shoes because the doctor said that it would stretch my hip, and they don't want my hip stretching. And it's been 3 years, so I don't know what to do. I'm up shit creek. You know, I'm trying to be nice about it because, like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about joining the military. Military's great when you're in. So when you get out, some of us have a good road, and the rest of us get fucked in the actual ass. I'm not complaining about my little bit of money because I'm greedy. I'm complaining about my little bit of money because at 44, I should not be some helpless, homeless vet that can't do shit, stuck in a rut and can't get a job, where people say, oh, we hire vets. First off, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard. I don't give a damn who it's from. I don't care if it's from Walmart. I don't care if it's from Target. I don't give a damn if it's from Toys R Us. I don't give a fuck who it's from. It's a fucking lie. Because if that was the case, I would have a job at some of the places that I just mentioned that I have applied for. And if I don't put that I'm a vet on the application, the government can arrest me for fraud. So it's a double fuck. You know? And I've applied for lots of places. They say they hire vets. Now, having this hip replacement does not allow me to do certain jobs. Generally, those are not the jobs that I apply for. You know, I don't apply for the register because I'm not really a people person, and I can stand a lot longer than I can sit because it hurts me to sit down. But I have like maybe a 4 to 5 hour standing limit before I actually have to sit down before my pain kicks in. I can't take pain medicine because then I can't drive to work. You understand the clusterfuck that is? So I can't open a dojo because I can't use my legs. And I don't have the certification to open a dojo because there's so many lax laws about how if you want to teach somebody kung fu, you got to do this, this, and that, which has absolutely nothing to do with fucking kung fu, but you have to have that shit. And I'm like, well, damn, you know, I've beaten black belts. And, you know, they've been, like, career black belts, but I've beaten their ass. And I'm like, okay, well, how come I know this and you don't? Because I've been fighting in the streets with my shit for quite some time. UFC would never take me because of the simple fact that I'm only 120 pounds. And now that I had this hip replacement 2 years ago, now they have the 120 pound and below class. Thank you, Dana White. Thank you a lot. Where were you 20 years ago when I needed that, when I was still young enough to actually be a dangerous man? I'm still dangerous because there's nothing more dangerous than a wounded animal. But, you know, I can't get paid. I can't get a job training anybody. I can't do anything because I don't have the money to move anywhere. I'm not getting the money to go anywhere, and I can't do shit. It's like an endless cycle that I'm trying to break. But the more I ask for help, the less I get. This Vogue Rehab was like my last shot at getting a career at anything. And again, 37, 38, 39, 40. Those first 4 years of do research until she retired, that didn't help me. 37, 38, 39, 40. 41, I got my hip replacement. Because I'm 44 now. I got my hip replacement in 2015. The ass in. You know, before my father died. Yeah. So basically it was 2014, but it was turning to 2015. So got that done. Then my dad dies, and no matter what happens, I still don't have shit. Alright? So 41, 42, 43. Do research. Do research. Do research. 44. Oh, we we discontinued you. What? Nobody called me. Nobody told me. So yeah, we discontinued you like last year. So what the fuck you mean you discontinue me? Well, your caseworker retired and you've been discontinued. And she never called me. She never did anything, any means to reach out. Never sent me a letter to let me know I was being discontinued. So here I am now at 44, fighting to get this shit back. So if you're watching Vogue Rehab and you decide not to give it to me, I would give you this one piece of advice. I'm okay with that, because if you don't want to give it to me, I'm gonna get a lawyer, and you'll just deal with them, and that'll solve that problem. I'm James Williams Jr. Come for having number 2. Be seeing you.